I just can't hold a tune. I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm just sharing the truth. Can only do what I can do. Like to sing, but I really sing off tune bad, okay? But I thought, well, if I'm in heaven, you know, maybe it'll sound better. And I thought, well, what will I sing? And a little voice inside of me says, well, why don't you make up your own song? And I said, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. What would that be? And the words came to me simply, Jesus, I love you. I said, okay, that'll be my little song. That'll be my little lullaby. And I'm going to sing those 4 words, Jesus, I love you. That was my thought. So I start singing, sort of. Jesus, I love you. I've got a sore throat here and got some sinuses backed up, so it makes it real bad, but that's about as good as I can do. Off tune, can't hold a note, you know. Well, when I did that, in this place, the spirit dimension I was in, something began to form at my fingertips, and it was like electricity. Started at my fingertips and toes, and this electricity started to work up my hands. It's the best that I can describe, as it was like electricity, except it didn't hurt. It felt good, it tingled, and it just felt really, really good. And I thought, now that's interesting. Now why would that be doing that by my singing? So I thought, well, I'll sing this again. So I sang it again. But I thought, now I wonder, you know, if I can make it sound better, and I wonder if I can hold my notes longer. I wonder if I could get more oxygen in this place to say the words longer than what I'm normally able to do that. And so I go something like, Jesus, I love you. Folks, I haven't been drinking really, okay. Now, I cannot do it the way I did it in the dream. I'm doing the best I can to tell you what was going on. But when I did this, it sounded beautiful. In that dream, it sounded beautiful. I mean, I'm telling you, I could sing, and the notes would rise and fall, and it was just incredible music. And the reason I know that is people that were walking back and forth on the street were starting to look at me, and they were starting to talk and say, listen to that guy sing, man, that's beautiful. And I'm thinking, hey, I can sing, you know, this is great. Well, in the process of I can sing, this electricity, this joy, is really what it was. It was joy that looked like electricity to me. I could see it, okay? I could literally see it, and it was creeping up my arms and up my legs, and it was growing in its intensity as I was singing these 4 words, Jesus, I love you. And so I continue to sing those words, Jesus, I love you, but when I would say Jesus, I could go for 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, and I would make a beautiful song out of one word, I. And then love, I could sing a whole song about just love and never run out of breath. You, the same thing. Jesus, I love you. I was singing the most beautiful song you ever heard with just Jesus, I love you. And as I was singing that, I realized that I wouldn't run out of breath. The more I sang it, the more joy that began to continue to just be all over my outside of my body now was growing. The intensity of my voice was growing, the loudness of it, okay? People were now, instead of walking, stopping and looking and pointing and saying, look at this guy. I was walking down the middle of the road. Look at this guy. We've never heard anything up here in heaven like this. This is so gorgeous. Can you believe that? Well, I don't know they said this in heaven. I take that back. I retract that statement. We've never heard anything like that up here, is what they were saying. And as this electricity joy consumed the outside of me, and friend, let me just, well, I'll get to this in just a moment later. This joy was so good. It was so good beyond anything I could possibly find words to attempt to describe. There's nothing in this lifetime except one thing that I can point you to get a small understanding of what this joy was. Okay? When my body was consumed with joy on the outside, it started going in my mouth. It started going down my esophagus and inside into all my veins and just creeping everywhere. It was going internal. And this joy was growing inside. It was consuming me on the outside. It was growing inside as I sang this little 4-word song. And I was singing it so loud, so long. I wouldn't sing the same notes twice. There was just unlimited creativity and ability to sing this silly little song. I know this sounds silly. It sounds dumb, doesn't it? A guy came up to me down the road, and he looked at me and he said, "Man, are you the one singing that song or this song?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Do you realize we can hear you singing this 10,000 miles away?" I said, "No." He said, "It's the most beautiful song we've ever heard up here. We've never heard anything like that. And, you know, it's getting louder and louder." Well, I had this sudden knowing that throughout all eternity, if I did nothing more than just sing those 4 words, "Jesus, I love you," I would be content through all eternity just to say those 4 words. Why? Because there was so much electricity joy on the outside, but I realized that it could only just be so much on the outside, but there was a knowing on the inside that it would never stop growing. It would never plateau. It would never stay the same. It would just continue to build as long as I sang those 4 words. It was incredible. And then, at that moment, the dream immediately stopped. It just shut down. And I was in total blackness, total darkness, nothingness. And the voice of the Holy Spirit, who I had heard times before, spoke powerfully to my spirit, to my inner being. And he says, "Keep being faithful in your soul winning, Norm. I have secret internal rewards of joy for soul winners that no one will know about except me and them. I have secret internal rewards that no one is going to know about but God and that person, and they're going to be given to born-again Christians on that great resurrection day."